out, brother. Only one way to find out. Is it going? Oh,
What's
what's
that?
happening? What's happening? Something's happening. Something's happening. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. I messed up. I messed up. All right. Here we go.
I mean, it says live, so
Oh, that's good. Oh, I can hear you playing ads from it right now.
yeah. I mean, it looks like we're good to go. So
Bush League. Bush League. Okay.
Bush
Getting
League.
Bush League. That's my new saying. I like to say Bush League or amateur. Okay. Getting started. Okay. You don't have to say what. But are you attracted slash turned on by something that other people might think is weird?
Hmm. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to say if it's weird. I guess because I feel like everybody would say yes to this question.
Yeah, but I think there's different levels of it. If you have to think about it, the answer is probably no. I think if you were, you would know like right away, like hard yes.
I mean, I could say I'm not like any of the people we've had on here in prior years of that profession where they have said some pretty crazy things. I am not. I'm not to that level, but I mean, I guess not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not weird or have any crazy things when it comes to that.
Yeah, I don't think that I do either. No,
I mean,
nothing that I would say is really out there. Yeah, I
I
would say
mean,
that like I'm not going past the first page necessarily.
yeah, I don't even know if I would open the book. I mean, baseball caps. Blonde hair. I mean, it's pretty simple things in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, there's nothing that really like does it for me that I would say is out there a little bit for
I
me
think
personally.
I think as you get older, there's not much that needs to be done. It just needs to happen at all.
Yeah. It's kind of like what's the saying about it? Like even when it's bad, it's still good.
When do you think you hit that age to where that saying like is fully in play? 32, 31.
No, like 17?
That's pretty early for that.
Do you think that 17-year-old you or whenever you got your first bite of the cookie, so to speak, do you think that that version of you would be impressed by current you? Would they look at you now and be like, man, John, whoo, older John laying the pipe?
Yes, because I look back on 17-year-old John and I don't know how he ever had a girlfriend ever. I don't know how John prior to probably 26 ever had a girlfriend, but it happened from time to time, believe it or not.
The first girl I ever kissed laughed at me because I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And I was just like, why is she sticking her tongue in my mouth? And I tried to like push it back out with my tongue because I didn't know what was going on. And she just
Yeah.
started laughing.
First girl I ever kissed told me if I didn't keep kissing her, she was gonna have her brothers beat me up if I didn't kiss her. So
When was that? How old were you? Sounds like you were like 7.
I think I was 11, 11 or 12.
Okay. Huh?
Probably
Yeah.
probably too young, right? I mean, at that age, it's you obviously have no idea what you're doing, but it's
I
fun.
just remember like my first girlfriend. I think I was maybe in, call it 7th or 8th grade. Like I just remember she called me and she's like, "You're my boyfriend now." And I said, "Okay." And then I never like talked to her again, I don't think. And then she broke up with me like next week.
I remember. So Nick and I come from a time for all you youngsters out there when we had something called AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh, you were instant messaging him?
I remember at one point, I don't know what night it was, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, but I remember just going down the list of everybody who was online and asking them if they wanted to be my girlfriend.
How far down the list did you have to get?
I mean, I think I remember at least one girl that said yes. So
Wait a minute, but did you? But she didn't see you, or did? Could she see you?
yeah, I mean, you knew each other. You went to school with him. I mean, it's not like they were randos.
Oh, okay. What do you in terms of pursuing the opposite sex? What do you think hurts you more, your looks or your personality?
Hmm. My looks. I think I have a good personality. I think my personality draws people in. Actually,
Oh, mine's like the reverse. I feel like my personality hurts me more than my looks.
I think people just look at me. I mean, I think I have both going for me in a great big world. I think people like big teddy bears.
Okay, yeah, keep telling yourself that. Keep keep
I mean,
telling yourself that. Results of the poll, not a lot of votes so far, but 100% of people say yes. They are attracted to something other people might think is weird. So that means we're all weird. Like we're everybody's fine, right? Be your weird self. Do what you want.
I wish we had some examples to go by. I mean, I mean, weird to me. And listen, if this is your thing, don't get offended. But weird to me would be like having to have a Bible open in front of you while you're banging somebody. Like have them hold it or something. Like a Bible fetish. That
Oh,
just
you got
seems
to like get out there, huh?
some
Hmm.
or maybe not necessarily a Bible. Like somebody has to have like a picture of a Walking Dead graphic novel on their back while they're having making love or something. Like that's a little weird to me. That's out there. Or be dressed as like a cartoon character. That's weird too.
All right, man. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I mean
Whatever like whatever
I
floats your boat. Everybody's got a little bit of weird in them. That's okay.
I'm no one to judge. Not even close.
All right, let's move on. Let's do shout outs.
You've been given the same introduction to shout outs for 6 years now. All right,
Because
let's go.
otherwise you'll want to talk about your basement and the weather or baseball or just like, oh my God.
I was happy to see that baseball has more followers on its social media
No, it
than
doesn't.
hockey. So it does.
Yeah, right. Like that's like being proud of the being that's like the D student being looking at the F1 thinking that guy's dumb. You're not exactly in a great place yourself, right? I'm not
Listen,
like that stupid F kid. What'd you get? A D? Did you ever flunk a
baseball.
class? Did you ever flunk a class?
No, but I should have. And the only reason I got a D minus was because I needed to not flunk a class to have eligibility. So for some reason I looked at my report card at the quarterway and it was a D minus, and that's what I got all class long a D
It
minus.
kept
So
you on there to ride the bench, huh? They needed somebody to hold that bench down.
something like that. Yeah, I went to class and I did some of the work. I just never applied my. I'm not gonna even give a hint to what class it was, because I don't want any. I don't want to give it away. But I
Wait
just
a
I just
minute. Now
I
I
just
want to
didn't
guess.
I just
Was it
didn't apply myself to the class.
was it okay, math?
It was no. It was not a math class. It was. I'll tell you the subject or the whatever. It was a science class.
Yeah, I could see that.
But all right, let's give some shout out. Wait, have you ever flunked a class?
No. Been really close a lot, but never I don't think flunked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What's funny was as I got older, I got better. Like I don't think I got anything below a B in college, but college classes are kind of easy. So
Oh yeah, I mean, you really like it's kind of crazy that so much of your future is decided before you ever really have a chance for your brain to mature. It's kind of a
it's
ridiculous thing, right? Like by the time your brain is mature and you're finally able to make mature decisions, it's already too late.
yeah, it's already done. You've already jacked it up,
You've
man.
already done messed up your whole life before you even have the capability to make good decisions. Which is kind of a crazy
Like
thing.
my young daughter, who is in first grade, already knows what the word anxiety means. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, well,
Uh, all, all
she's your
right,
kid. She's your kid. She's gonna have a lot of.
she's gonna have a nice, prosperous life.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Some shout outs. Ian Hamrick Logan Tyler, Henoik Montoya, Lucinda Singh, Mendoza Doza, Sean O'Callahan, Catalina Shirley, Tristan Baker, Natalie Eichner, Rudra Rana John Ramos, and James Rode.
So wait, was it Rudra Ranajan? Or Rudra is the name and then John?
Rudra Rana, and then John Ramos.
Rana's a cool name. That'd be a good name.
We
Why
might
not?
as well give a few more here. Will Balcombe, Tyler Howe, Jonah Frayer, and we'll end with a little alliteration here on this episode. Wilson Whitley.
Oh, don't hear a lot of W names. Okay.
All right, let's see here. I mean, I feel like we have to talk about this just because everybody was talking about it. So I'll ask you two questions. You'll probably give me some smart ass answer. But did you watch the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight? And if you did, were you one of the millions upon millions that had issues with Netflix?
No,
Or so you didn't watch it?
I
Not
didn't
surprising.
watch it. The only thing that I saw from the fight is Mike Tyson's butt cheeks. Literally, the only thing that I saw from the fight was Mike
That
Tyson's
was
butt cheeks, which 3 people sent me a video of Mike Tyson's butt cheeks. And I thought to myself, there's no point in watching this. This is the highlight. That was the funniest thing that I've ever seen in my life, I think. Like just a random shot of Mike Tyson's butt cheeks for no reason whatsoever.
It was so for those of you that probably know what that is or have seen that circulating. So what he was wearing was like the girder. For whatever reason, he wasn't wearing the shorts yet. Um, but he definitely like hugged his son and gave his son a kiss because that was the guy who was interviewing him. And then as he's walking away, they pan, to him walking away, and there's his ass. It was it was not well done. Just like Netflix didn't do a good job at all, and um, for that company to be hosting 2 NFL games on Christmas Day and taking over the entire WWE platform, they got to get some stuff rolling there. The fight itself was what everyone thought it was going to be. It was nothing. Jake Paul might be the most annoying person I've ever. I don't even know him. I just
Yeah.
I just can he just go away?
I don't understand how some of those people are popular. Like I've never heard of a maybe it's an age thing, but I've never heard a single good thing about that person or anybody talking in any way that seems like they actually like them. It's like how are you
That is true.
still I've never heard, but there's so many people that are like that. Like I've never heard somebody say, "Wow, the Kardashians, I really want to grow up to be like that." Or I really want to grow up to be Jake Paul. Like I don't
Yeah, I don't know.
understand. Like, how does this keep happening?
It's I guess the sad part to go back to the event for a second was there was actually some really good fights on there too. And he has turned it Jake Paul and his production company have turned it into this was great for boxing and for women because one of the events was a women's fight which was fantastic. Um but at the end of the day, it's Jake Paul's stamp on it and it just feels icky. And
Yeah.
what I love is a couple like actual world champion boxers have sent him messages publicly on social media saying, "You want a real fight? Like let's get in the ring and we'll fight." But I bet you he won't accept any of them.
I think that that's a big problem with actually to go on a whole rant with our societies. It's now entirely dictated by the algorithm, which focuses everything on the amount of controversy that you can generate. It's much better now, I think, to be slightly good at something than it is to actually be good at it.
Yeah, I mean, I that's a deep rant. To stay on the surface of it, I'm curious to know what our listeners think. But just for me to stay on the surface of it, I feel like social media has made it. Jake Paul can send out one thing that's probably not even real, and that's it. Like that's the spoken word. I mean, he made
Yeah.
50-60 million dollars because he beat Mike Tyson. I mean,
It
a
is
60-year-old Mike Tyson, for fuck's sake.
Well, and I was seeing something, which to be fair, I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody got a hold of the contract and was like, Mike Tyson is not allowed to throw an uppercut. The fight has to go the distance. Like all these kind of things that it was never a real thing to begin with. And I don't understand that from a personal perspective in the sense that like you've already got a lot of money. Why do you want to kind of sacrifice your dignity and embarrassment just to get more? Like, what can you buy for $40 million that you can't buy for 35? I would just look at myself and be like, God, I'm just a joke. Like, that's how
I
I
mean,
would see it. I guess other people don't
to
think that way.
to be fair, it definitely seemed. I mean, Mike Tyson had him on the ropes a couple of times, and if anyone even knows Mike Tyson, he would have landed a body shot or gone with an uppercut or something and didn't. So, regardless, they made a lot of money. Netflix effed it up. The fight of the night should have been the fight of the night, and it was. But I'm just over gimmick stuff. Like I guess during the pandemic it was okay maybe because like it was fun and it was entertaining and like it kind of brought people together. But like let's get back to real boxing and maybe Jake Paul can go away. He doesn't have to like nothing bad has to happen to him. Just maybe he can just go away.
That would be something that I would really like to see in 2025 is for all the people who are kind of fake, quote unquote, to just go away. To go back to when the people that you heard from actually knew what they were doing or were good at what they were doing. All of the kind of that influencer culture, I could do away with all of it. I could do away with all of it. And we'd probably all be better for it, to be honest with you. But I don't think that that's a thing that I think everybody probably agrees with that at the same time, too.
Yeah, but then again, the people who agree are the ones who are watching his Twitch and giving money to his boxing campaign. Anyways, I just had to talk about that because that was the biggest event. That'll probably be the biggest event of the year. I would think.
Yeah, and what's sad to me is like I was a boxing fan. Like I would watch boxing, I would watch boxing shows, and now that the sport's been destroyed by this. So,
I mean that's tough to say. I will say this that I think it's bullshit for Mike Tyson that his record's gonna say 50-7 and his last loss ever is gonna be to Jake Paul. But then again, he doesn't care because he made more money than he's probably made in the last 20 years in one night. So,
yeah, that's true. I think that he always runs into money problems too.
well, if you ever
Whatever,
look
if
at his
he's okay with it, his decision, not
if
mine.
you ever look at his rap sheet, it is the guy's been through some shit.
He's
So,
been in through some stuff, right?
all right. So it hurts me to say this, but I wanted to give you a softball so you could just hit it back in my face.
Okay, all right.
Um, so there was a movie that was just released with starring The Rock called Red One. It's a holiday movie. Had a budget, an operating budget of $250 million.
Ooh,
In its opening weekend, which, as everybody knows, that's the weekend where you're going to make the most money. Usually, it made $34 million.
oh, his career, he's on a big downslide. It's
So my
fun. It's crazy to me how fast people can turn.
so my question was or is to you, doesn't necessarily have to be him, but like that's it, right? Like he's gonna go back to the WWE now, or he's gonna do something of familiarity because like yes, he doesn't need the money, obviously, but that has to hurt. Like that has to sting, no matter who you are.
Yeah, and I think the difficulty is that when that happens to you, it's so hard to come back. Because that's a couple of movies in a row, I think, that he's had that didn't go very well. And once that happens, it's hard to bounce back from it. But that happens with everybody. Like any big celebrity, once they hit a certain level, then they're just gonna drop. I mean, you can kind of go through. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I think it happens to all
Well,
of them.
well, he does have one movie coming out at Thanksgiving that's gonna erase all of his debt or whatever. But Moana 2 comes out, and that's gonna just blow everything off the
I don't feel
water
like
for
it.
him.
I don't feel like if it's animated, it counts
Um,
quite as much. But anyway, that's me.
all right. A little interesting. I don't know what to call it. apparently there's going to be a run on butter this fall. I didn't think out of everything that we've been struggling for, butter's going to be a thing.
Well, it's
And
probably better for all of us, to be honest with you. Right? Like, is that the worst thing for society for there to be a butter shortage?
so
Like,
what
I
you're
don't think so.
just for everyone to know, Nick proudly supports Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and he wants him to take care of the schools and get rid of processed foods and
No, I just don't
fluoride.
think that
And
I don't think that having a butter shortage is the worst thing in the world for a country that struggles with obesity. I
I
don't
just
think that oh, what a problem.
I just thought it was funny that out of everything that could be shortages, and butter's like at the top of the list. Like, who's eating that much butter?
Well, we are. We're
Like,
eating that much butter. We've eaten so much butter that there's a shortage of it. Like, we can't keep up with the demand.
it
It's
just seems
probably like one of those things, right?
just seems like a lot. Um, all right, Barrow, Alaska, yesterday. The sun set there. The sun will not that city will not see sun until January 22nd.
I believe
Why would
pronounced
anyone
Barrow. It's pronounced
want to
Barrow.
live there?
Because that's their
Like,
home.
that sounds terrible. And I got to get the sun once a week just to make me feel a little better about anything.
I I mean, I'm sure it's a combination of people. A, that's where they like to live. B, it's probably a really hard place to live or a hard place to leave. Like, I don't think that a lot of the people who are there probably really want to be there. I live in Seattle. In Seattle, during the height of the winter, or I guess technically like December, right? Like during the shortest days of the year, you're not going to see you won't see it won't get light out till about 8 and it'll be dark by 4:45. And that gets to me. I don't know how you could do with it. I don't know how you could deal with that, like not being light or dark at all. It's weird.
Kind of, yeah, it's for me, I leave the house, 7:30, 7:45. It's still kind of dark, and then when I get out of work at 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's dark. So that's why I look like this and am pale and translucent and look like a vampire. So if anyone's wondering, that's why.
Are
Uh,
there are there are there any chubby vampires in any media? Has there ever been a chubby vampire?
yeah, I mean, there has to, well, now I'm looking it up, but there has to have been.
Let's see. Is there a chubby vampire?
Yeah, there has to have been.
Oh,
But we're not,
no. But sorry, Barrow.
well, that also
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
surprise me.
huh. Yeah, most vampires are toned. Okay, anyway, aside.
Uh, I had one more thing, but I didn't write it down and I forgot it. So
Oh,
I guess
okay.
there
Well,
that goes.
thanks for putting in effort. Thanks for putting in effort. Good job. Appreciate
It
that.
just popped in my brain as we were talking, and then it just went away. So
Okay.
there it
You ready
is.
to move on then?
I've been ready for the last 24 minutes to move on.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's rude. So our top five is top five musicians everybody likes. Like everybody pretty much likes them. They're not necessarily the most popular, but pretty much everybody likes them. What's your number five?
I'm gonna get hammered for this list, and I know it. I know I'm going to because people are gonna say that I'm nearsighted and I'm not thinking enough about things. But you know what? I
Yeah,
gave
yeah.
it.
I
I
can see
gave it.
that.
Gave it a shot here. So, uh, my number five. Let me go back here. My number five, John Denver.
Oh yeah, I think everybody likes John Denver. I've never heard anybody be like John Denver. Hate that
Yeah.
guy's music. Everybody likes a John Denver song. I'll agree with that.
Okay. All right. Good. So that I think we may get somewhere then. Yeah. I've never heard anybody. Yeah, John Denver. Fuck that guy. Never heard that
Right,
before.
nobody's really mad about John Denver. Ludacris is my number five. Everybody likes Ludacris.
That's actually not. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
Ludacris is like the one rapper you can say, oh yeah, everybody likes Ludacris.
I mean, Yeah, don't say P Diddy or any of them.
No, huh?
Yeah, okay. I think Ludacris. I think maybe some of like our generation maybe think he's a little too poppy, but I dare you to find one person that's going to be like, yeah, I don't like one song of his. That's
Yeah,
that's.
everybody likes Ludacris. Okay, all right, we're off to a better start than I thought. Let's see this go downhill.
Oh yeah, it's
It's coming.
I'm about to throw it right now.
Good,
My
good,
number
good.
my number 4 is Bob Marley.
Oh, I don't like Bob Marley.
But do you not like? But like his music, right? Like a song comes on and it's just chill, right? Like
Does
reggae.
nothing for me. Does nothing for me.
Okay.
But I will
Okay.
say that once something becomes something that everybody likes, I automatically don't like it. I like a Bob
Okay.
Marley type music. I can't say that I like Bob Marley specifically.
Okay. I mean, I feel
Disagree.
like anytime a Bob Marley reggae song comes on, you at least know the beats if you don't know the song, and it's just a fun song usually.
Okay. My number 4 is Michael Jackson. I would have put Michael Jackson all the way at number 1, but I do think that his personal issues cloud that a lot. And it's hard to look past that. But I think that everybody likes Michael Jackson's music.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm basing my list off is if people like the music. Yeah, I mean obviously a lot of people don't like him or
Yeah.
didn't like him, but I mean it's hard to find somebody that when one of his main songs come on, at least even if they don't like it, the person's still gonna be like, humming along or tapping along. So
Yeah, you like his music. Okay, it's your number 3.
that's fair. I actually don't have him. I put him on my honorable mention,
Okay.
which now I'm wondering. My number 3, I went with Taylor Swift.
Oh, I would have agreed with you a little while ago. I don't think that's true now. I don't like a I there's not a single Taylor Swift song that I like.
I think I'm confident in putting her at 3. I think even the diehard red-blooded Americans. Once again, if one of her most famous songs come on, you may turn it, but you're not going to be like, oh, this song's a pile of shit. Like I don't know.
I could see it. My number 3 is Adele. Everybody likes Adele.
See, I don't disagree with you. Well, I might as well say my number 2 now, which is Whitney Houston.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, because
I got nothing bad to say about Whitney Houston.
I feel like there are just some singers, no matter how curmudgeon you are or an asshole, you just have to respect them. And like Adele, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, they all kind of go into that bubble. Um, and yeah, they're just legendary.
Celine Dion is one I thought about a lot. Like I thought about putting Celine Dion on there a lot. That's harder to say than you would think. Celine Dion on there. My number 2 is the Beatles.
See, and I left them off the list, and they were kind of like Michael Jackson to me. Like maybe should have put them on, but yeah, the Beatles are, you know, they're kind of like the Monkees or one of those early '60s '70s bands. You just their music just makes you feel good.
Yeah, I like the Beatles. Okay, who's your number 1?
The King, Elvis Presley.
Okay. I don't think that a lot of people know his music now. Do you think the kids today know Elvis Presley?
I think if they don't, you hear it once and you're told it's him, and then every time from then out that you hear it, you know it's him.
I don't know what his big song is though. The only one that I know of is like Jailhouse Rock, I think.
I mean,
That's the
that's
only Beatles song that I know.
you mean Elvis Presley?
Oh, Elvis Presley. Yes, Elvis Presley.
Yeah, I mean Elvis. I mean, so he had that. I mean, a little less conversation. Burn in Love, even though that one's kind of bad because he kind of died on the toilet, so it doesn't really.
He had a song called Burning Love and he died on the
He did.
toilet.
Yeah, Jealous Rock, Suspicious Minds. I mean, the thing about Elvis is like he's transcended his death, his family, the drama. It's and his music was just always upbeat. Usually, it was It's just good music, and you know it. It's kind of like Frank Sinatra and Christmas music. Like anytime a Frank Sinatra Christmas song comes on, it just makes you smile.
My number one is Tom Petty.
I can't go against Tom Petty. I love Tom Petty. Love Tom
Right.
Petty.
I would make an argument that Tom Petty is the most liked musician of all time. Everybody likes Tom Petty.
I just wonder. Yes, I don't. Well, I don't disagree with you. I just, like you said to me, do people know him? Like, does the generation of today know? Does the generation of today know anyone we mentioned other than Taylor Swift? Probably not.
I bet they know Tom Petty more than they know the Beatles or Elvis Presley.
I mean, I don't want to disagree with you. I love
Yeah.
Tom Petty. Man, there's some songs of his that you just sit back and they just take you on a ride, man.
Oh, I love a storytelling song. Like a storytelling songs are the best. Okay, what's in your honorable mention?
So like we kind of talked about, I put Michael Jackson on there, Aretha Franklin. I put Beyonce on there, Johnny Cash.
Okay. Beyonce, yeah, I would agree with those. Like pretty much everybody likes them.
And then I went kind of off key, and I put Elton John.
I thought about Elton John.
Because once again, music, most of his songs, his mainstream songs. And then this one was out of left field. But Guns N' Roses. I just feel like, once again, they have a couple of anthems that come on, and you just know the songs. Like Foo Fighters, Beastie Boys.
You could make a strong argument that everybody likes Foo Fighters, Beastie Boys, I would agree with. Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, like everybody likes those kind of songs.
For sure.
The other one I thought of more recent, Lady Gaga. Widely acclaimed, I would say.
I would put her at number 1111 if I could. I love Lady Gaga, but
I would love Lady Gaga too. What's your favorite song? What's your favorite Lady Gaga song? Let's end on that.
ooh, man, see, it's tough because like the club days, like Bad Romance is a great one.
That's a banger. That's mine. I would go Bad Romance.
Yeah, well, and I'll say Bad Romance. That's a good one, man.
All right, let's end there. Let me actually end it. End stream. There we go. That's the button I gotta hit.
Remember, you have to click the button.
I did click the button.